pasuk says he kan zipel of anacha baderach b'choloi tzaib al oretz afroichem mevetzem v'im revetzes al afroichem al abetzem l'sikachem al abonim. Shalach the shalach hasaim v'sabonim tikach loch l'manyitav loch v'arachta yom. The Gemara says in Maseches Kedushin, and this is also Gemara Masi in Maseches Chum. This was the Rebbe said a hadran on Maseches Chum. In Lubavitch yeshivas, they're starting to learn this week new Masechta, the cycle of the Chabad yeshivas in Maseches Kedushin. Mishnah says Lo yitel Adam ema labonim afilu l'tayr es ha. This is like one of the juiciest hadronim in the whole Shas, the story of Rabbi Yaakov. So the Mishnah says that you can't say that he needs to have a few pigeons in order to do the Torah Samatzoida. So he's going to take the aim and the bonim, the mother and the babies together. He needs 2, 3. He needs them. No. Then the Mishnah continues.
One mitzvah doesn't take another mitzvah. Mitzvah shalach
Right.
doesn't take another mitzvah.
My mitzvah kala shiki yisir amra Torah l'manyita v'loch v'arachta yomim kala v'chem mitzvah chamur shabbat Madach mitzvah kala, Rashi brings us a Madach mitzvah kala, which is not very expensive mitzvah. Pigeons are not very expensive. So Torah says that the reward is yitav v'loch v'arachta yomim kala v'chem mitzvah chamur shabbat. The Gemara says Tanya the Vei Rabbi Yaakov Omer. There's no such a thing, a mitzvah, that there is schar and you don't have to wait for tchis hamesim. You always have to wait for tchis hamesim in order to receive the schar. Which is in 3 weeks ago parsha and veschanon. B'shluchachem this week's parsha kitaytze iksiv laman yitav loch v'arachta yomim Elisha amar le'aviv alu l'bira v'havi l'goyzavos. His father said, go up to the high place, to the bira, to the high place, the second floor, the third floor, the roof, somewhere in the high place, v'havi l'goyzavos, and bring me pigeons, v'ala v'shalach esoeim v'lokach hasabonim. He did the Torah's mitzvah. He sent away the mother bird and he took the children. When he was coming down the ladder, when he was returning from his mission, he fell and he died. That's not very long life. That's not very good. Hello.
You stepped in the ladder.
That's not very long. It's not very good. Ela laman yarichun yomecha means ba'olam shekula yaruch. Arichas yamim is in the olam haba, which is kula yaruch. Man yitav loch lo'olam shekula toiv. Frag the Gemara v'dim lo yahav v'hochi. Maybe that's not the pshat. Who told Rabbi Yaakov that this is the pshat? So the Gemara answers. Rabbi Yaakov ma'isa. He saw a story. It's interesting, like usually the Gemara, the Maisa Choza. Taraya, Aposek, Akabola, Yud Gimel Vidas, Maisa Choza.
Wait, Maisa Choza means this mice itself, of the hand that fell down.
Yeah, you saw Maisa, that
so
the
how does that show that the pshat is that it's Ba'ilam Haba?
What else could be the pshat? And Yaakov said to himself, what else could be the pshat? V'dilma, fragt the Gemara, how does he know? V'dilma maharer ba'aveira have? Maybe the person was b'shas ma'isa maharer ba'aveira. So the Gemara says, nah, machshav arein HaKadosh Baruch Hu matzah for the ma'isa. So big deal, he was maharer ba'aveira, big deal. No, that's nothing. V'dilma maharer ba'aveira avodah zora have. The Ksiv l'man tvoises b'nei Yisrael b'libam. And that is counted if he had the hearer of avodah zora. Amrachem Yaakov is a machshavas avodah zora. The Gemara Kamim, he said, "Ikes char mitzvah b'ha'alma tahana lei b'togin alav leis le'dehir v'letizik." If the schar mitzvah would be applicable b'hai alma, then there must be that the Eibishter would protect him from having a heater of avodah zorah. because he wasn't protected. So and to say he did have a hira bazor, what's the difference? I mean, obviously he didn't have that special divine protection. Muslims sagen al schar mitzvahs b'hai la'al malek. Gemara continues, but Rabbi Elazar shluchim mitzvahim nizoikim. So he was a shlich mitzvah. The Gemara says b'chaziros and shana, maybe because on the way back is different. He's not a shlich mitzvah anymore. So Gemara, it's not true. Rabbi Elazar shluchim mitzvahim nizoikim alei b'chalichosom alei b'chaziros. It's not true. Shluchim mitzvah not nizik, not in the way there, not in the way back. But 1 second, let's just finish the Gemara. So the Gemara says sulam ru'ua hava. The kavua zeka shiny. Whenever the hezek is kavua, is different. The ksiv it says, "V'yom Shmuel eich elech v'yishma v'shama shol v'horgeni." The Elisha told him on a mission to go anoint a new king. He's scared to go. He's scared. The Elisha told him, "Shluchim mitzvah and nezaykim." Elamai because kavia zeka, because Shaul is a king. No king is very excited to hear that another king is being anointed. The hezek is very strong. So therefore, the klal of shluchim mitzvah doesn't apply over here when there is a kaviyah zayk. Our Rabbi Yosef, Elamala dor she'acher lahaykra, Kirib Yankiv bar brata loichota. If Elisha ben Abuya, who was called Acher, if he dashed in this pasuk like his grandson Rabbi Yaakov, he never would have sinned. The Gemara says, what happened? My choza, what did he see that got him so upset? He saw exactly this story. He saw the story. He saw a father telling his son, "Go bring me the pigeons that are there on the roof." And he went for his father, and in the way back, he was v'nafel u'meis. And not only that, but while he was taking the birds, he shluch akain. He had a double header. The 2 mitzvahs of which the Torah says that there is arichas yomim and toiv. So he saw that, he got really upset. He said, "That's it." He went away from Judaism. That was it. That's one opinion. Lishna der chutzpis hamaturgim choza havamutelas ba'ashpa Omar pesha hipik margolius yelachich offer. He was upset because he saw that the tongue of Reb Chutzim Samatungim was ba'ofar. The Gemara Kedushin adds a few gruesome details, that he saw there was a dovarache being mahapach in it, that there was a pig playing with it. So he was really angry about that. He said, "Where's God? Where's God?"
That's from the Asara Malchus.
From Asara Malchus. He said, "Where's God? What kavidim?" So he was really angry at that. And that was it. So he went away from Judaism.
It's Acher.
Acher, yeah. Ulo yoda laman yitav loch ba'olam shekulei toiv laman yarichu yomecha ba'olam shekulei orach. He didn't know the real pshat in the pasuk. Had he known the pshat in the pasuk, he would have tools to be able to deal with this. But he didn't know. He thought that it means arichas yom ba'olam haza and toiv loch ba'olam haza. And when he saw the story A or story B, he couldn't deal with it. He couldn't deal with it.
But how is it possible? He was big Talmid Chacham in Elisha ben Avuya before he became Acher. He was the Rabbi of Rabbi Meir.
Yeah.
So he didn't know this Plan Halacha?
We know it because his grandson told us. He didn't know. He didn't know. Even after the Gemara tells it to us, there's a little room to figure things out, things that we know and we don't know here. In Pashtus, a little bit has to be, a little over here has to be, it's a little rough at the edges here, the whole sugya. There's a Mishnah that we say also in Peah every morning. Elo dvarim shadam echel peresem ve'el mazeh v'keren keim masel mado ve'elu hein kibud avein v'letz chasodem shkam esmesemed shachis v'arv v'esach nosas orchem v'kacholim nosas kalav v'esemeis v'yin tefillah v'shem v'chabeir v'nish l'ishtay. So there's Talmud Torah, Shekhinah Kulam. So the Gemara, the Mishnah Chulin, and the Mishnah in Peah says pretty clearly that you get a reward in this world for doing mitzvahs. It's ganz klar. You say it every morning. Every morning we say the Mishnah in Peah that there is a reward for doing mitzvahs, right? that you get Perisayim ba'olam hazeh. And the Mishnah also says in Chulin that ma mitzvah kala shiki yisra amra toyre l'manyet v'lach barachta yom kal v'chela mitzvah chamor shebetoyre. So there's a Mishnah, a Stam Mishnah in Chulin, a Stam Mishnah in Peah, a Mishnah that we're quite familiar with that says that you get reward ba'olam hazeh. Rabbi Yaakov says no, it's not true. Okay, so first of all, how does the Mishnah deal with the Rabbi Yaakov saw a story? The Gemara is Oktach Gezen Mais.
But the Mishnah says Peirosayim is Ba'olam Hazeh, not the Ikas Char is.
And so Rabbi Yaakov and Maskim, the Peirosayim should be Ba'olam Hazeh. So why did he die? Why didn't he have Peirosayim Ba'olam Hazeh? So here, that's the thing. What's going on over here? Is there machloikis between Rabbi Yaakov and the two Mishnahs? Is there not a machloikis? How did they learn the story? How did he learn the story? What's going on? What's going on? So let's first do the Rambam. The Rambam is very funny because, in the one hand, the Rambam has a perfect formula. Mamish mosuk medvash. He had it all figured out. And l'choida, he could go all the way to the bank with his pshat. But then he paskins anyway like Rabbi Yaakov, but seems to be paskening halfway like Rabbi Yaakov. It doesn't make sense. So let's learn the Rambam. The Rambam Hilchas Tshuva, Perek Ches Halacha Aleph. Atoy batzvon al tzadikim mechayel mabo v'yachem shemo v'simon. Atoy v'shein marov v'shkos b'toyr v'manita lo v'varach tayomim. V'yashu olam da l'manita v'loch lo l'mshkul. Atoy v'varach tayom lo l'mshkul orach. V'zo olam mabo sheschar tzadikim hu shizkin l'noyim zev yibatoy v'zoy. So the Rambam passing like Rabbi Yaakov. Simple. L'manita v'loch v'varach tayomim is l'olam shkul atoy v'lolam shkul orach. But then he turns around and he has in the next Perek he has a formula that makes everything necha. Like l'choyre, he didn't have to pass like Rabbi Yaakov. He could pass like the Mishnah l'choyre for the same price. Once you have your pshat, the Rambam pshat, everything is l'choyre good. What's the Rambam pshat? This is like a very yesodistic thing. It's Perek Tesach Tshuva. It's a half a Perek. Macha shenoy d'shmat n'schor shel mitzvahs. Atoy v'sheniskol yom shomar naderech Hashem akoso b'toyre. He chayel mabo shenam mayitav loch verachta yomim. Manakom v'shenoik men Hashem she'ozvu orchas hatzedek ekso b'toyre akorish shenam ayikoris dekoris hanefesh hi avoyna bo. The ultimate reward is olam haba. The ultimate punishment is the lack of olam haba. Mao zeh shekoso b'chol hatoyre kula. Tishmu yagia lachem kach, v'mloi tishmu yikir eschem kach. The whole Torah is filled with rewards. I'm going to give you gashmias. I'm give you good stuff. If you're not going to listen, not going to give you good stuff. If the truth is that all the rewards is lo'olam shekula tov lo'olam shekula yaruch, so what's the Torah telling us? That's not one pasuk. But the whole Torah is filled that way. Every few psukim is this way. So what's going on? So the Rambam answers. All these things that the Torah tells us in the Divrei Abris. So we're having parshas Keseitz, we have parshas Kesovoi, parshas Ketovoi talking about the Divrei Abris that they say, Hagrizim Arevo, Ala Guta Zach. So all this, Kol Oisin Ron Emes Hoyu, Vihiyu, these are absolute truth. If a Yid does all the mitzvahs, you will be zoichet to have a happy life, Ba'olam Hazeh, health, wealth, and happiness. B'zman shana oisim kol ha-mitzvahs ha-toyri yagil l'toivas ha'olam hazeh kula. B'zman she'onu oivrim aleim v'tikrenu oisonu roas aksuvas. Like Yeshua was matakin that we should read the Teichal before Shavuos and before Rosh Hashanah. Afal Pikei. Ein oisan ha-toivas him soif matan schoren shal mitzvahs. lo yosen rosim sefer nakama shenoi kvim over al kol ha-mitzvahs. Elo kachu achrei kol advorim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu nosen lonu Torah zu eitz chaim hi. Chol oise kol ha-kosu ba v'yedei dei gmur in achayna zeicha ba l'chaylam haba. Lefi goyd l'maisa b'rev chachmasa zeicha. Based on how much mitzvahs and Torah he learns, he zeicha to olam haba. That's the ikar. V'ftechonu ba Torah shem nasa oise b'simcha v'toives nefesh v'nega b'chachmasa tamid sheyoser mimenu kol advorim hamoynim oisonu malasois. The Torah says, I guarantee that if you're busy learning Torah, you're busy doing mitzvahs, I'm going to take away all the obstacles that could be there. What kind of obstacles can there be? Could go on. Choyli. He's sick. How can he give tzedakah if he's sick? How can he earn money when he's sick? How can he help other people when he can't move himself? So the Eibishter is going to remove the choyli. Memela, he could do mitzvahs. Melchama. There's war in the world. How do you start bringing sandwiches to people? You can't drive in the streets. There's a war. Rav, how is he going to feed the hungry? He has nothing in his refrigerator, nothing in his pantry. So therefore, the Eibush is going to be mashbi all the good stuff. Which strengthen our hand. Allah says HaTorah to do the mitzvahs in the Torah. Kegoin, the Eibush is soiva, v'sholem, v'ribe kesev, v'zohov. He gives us a wealth of kesev, v'zohov, kedei shelo nasa kol yomenu b'dvarim shaguf tzarech lem. Why does he give us money? Because if you don't have money, you're busy running after the dollar day and night. So the Eibush makes that each should be wealthy, so he has time. Wealthy is not to build more wealth. Wealth is to kanzitz and lernen. Why? Ela neisha pnuim lilmed b'chochma v'lasas mitzvahs kedei shenizkel l'chai olam haba. V'chein oime b'toir achar she'ivtiach b'toivas elam hazeh tzedakah tiyelon kinishmer lasas v'chein udenu b'toir. Shemnaz v'toir medaz v'nasak b'havle azman k'in yishnema v'yishman yishuram v'yivet. If we're going to stop being busy with limud HaTorah and kiyum HaMitzvahs, the Eibusher says, you know what? Dainem is yoser kol oizvim kol mina oizvim kol toivas elam hazeh shem chisku yedeim liva to mevi alem kol arholas hamoynim em laknas elam haba kedei sheyov the berisham. That the Eibusher says the opposite. That the Eibusher will not give them the opportunity to be koina elam haba because they deserve it for their issues. ושכוסה בתוירה תחס אשר לא יבדת השם לקחה בשמחה ותס אליך שלחנו השם אך נמצא פירש כל עשנה ברוכס והכלולס על דרך זה כלומר אם עבדת השם בשמחה ושמעתם דארתם משפיע לכם הברוכס האלו ומרחק הכלולס וגם שתפנויים לשחקם בתוירה ולעסק בדי שתיסקו לחייל המבוא וייתם לך לא ילום שכולי טוי ותארכם לא ילום שכולי יורך Taka, the ikar is oilum shekulei toiv and oilum shekulei orech. V'nimtza osam zoichen l'shtei oilumas. L'chai oilum toiv and oilum hazeh amavim. L'chai oilum abov. Taka, the end result is that he's zoichen for two oilumas. But that's not the ikar. Shem lo yikna poi chochma maisim toivim. Ein leba ma yiske. Shenemen yikein maisa v'cheshbim v'daz v'chochma b'shoil. If a person is busy with eating, drinking, and znus, so maybe alem kol haklolos haelo, meisa kol habrachas, hashyichel yemem beholov v'fachav yelem liponu v'leguv sholom l'asla mitzvahs, kedei shetoiv l'machaylam haba, v'nimtza shebadetem shtei ha'elamas, שבזמן שאדם תורד בעולם הזה בחוילו במלחמה ורעבן אין מסעסק לא בחוכמה ולא במצווה שבהם זויכים לחי העולם הבא. Pretty long thing for a, could have been in one sentence. Okay. Bottom line. The Rambam seems to have a very simple formula for infant alts. Yet he paskins like Rabbi Yaakov. Yet he paskins like Rabbi Yaakov, not seemingly like the Mishnah. The Mishnah says that Oichel Perisayim Beilam Hazeh. So what's going on over here? Okay. And Bachlal, and the Gemara seems to go through and kvetching, like maybe the guy was thinking bad Hirhurim, never mind. Maybe he's thinking about the Zarabah. But why doesn't the Gemara ask a simple question? Maybe Bechal never had in mind to do any mitzvah. You say mitzvahs ain't sichos kavana.
No, he did a mitzvah. His father sent him to do it.
Not because the Torah said, because not because.
He would have.
You say mitzvahs ain't sichos kavana, but there is a din. There's a yotzim and a klal, some mitzvahs we'll talk about soon. Maybe even meal is one of them. But usually there's a machlokes. Some that say mitzvah sichos kavana and it's sichos kavana. Even the mandoma mitzvahs ain't sichos kavana. If a person does a kavana hafochis, like the classic case is Sfiras Oime. We spoke about it. That the minig by some kehillas is that Rov says the Sfiras Oime. What's the reason for that minig? To give up his kovet, to give up his... People make this mistake. It's kilups kovet arav. There's a lunch mit kovet arav. It's a simple thing. Because there's a din that Shemei Ka'oina and mitzvahs, if you put together mitzvahs and tzrichas kavana, Shemei Ka'oina, you have a disaster. Mitzvahs and tzrichas kavana, Shemei Ka'oina, I heard the Sfiras Omer, as yotze the mitzvah. What's titman? I can't turn off what I don't have a hearing aids. I can't just turn it off. I heard the chazan saying Yoim Yoim, and he said the which Omer it is. Shemei Ka'oim mitzvah ain't tzrichas kavana. So it's again, what are you going to do? The answer is that's only Zalter Rebbe says. That's only if you have no kavana, nishtaz hin nishtah. If you have kavana that I'm not being yoitza, that's different. What happens if the guy's an amoritz? He doesn't know your kavana. He doesn't know anything. So therefore, the Rov, Mr. knows. That's why he's supposed to be the Rov, right? So therefore, in some kehillas they give that the Mordad Ases, so he'll have in mind that he's making the bracha and he's not being moitzi the people that could make a bracha on their own. So who told us? How did Rabbi Yaakov know that this guy didn't have a kavana hafachis? But the Gemara doesn't ask that. The Gemara asks other questions. So the Gemara asked, who told Rabbi Yaakov, maybe at this Gemara, but this the Gemara didn't ask. Why didn't the Gemara didn't ask this? Maybe this guy, no, he's an atheist. They get glad garnished. He wants to be a good man. The Gemara doesn't ask such a kasha. The Gemara fragt doesn't. Why? And then it's interesting. If you like small diyukim here, the Rabbi Yaakov brings two. Why doesn't he get two parts of the story? That he was like a double-header. The Gemara wants to dramatize it. He was busy doing kibbut avaim, bringing the birds for his father, and plus he sent the mother bird and he took the ducklings. Two things that he was. What's negay? One thing to tell one prat of the story. What's negay to want to dramatize it? But in L'idach the Rambam only brings one. The Rambam brings the pasuk. And which pasuk does it bring? Not the earlier pasuk of parshas Vaschana, the later pasuk of parshas Ketzeitzeh. When the Rambam says, keeps on repeating, he says it 5-6 times. At the first time, look, Shekosa b'Torah alman yitav loch v'arachta yomim is the pasuk, which is the later pasuk, the pasuk that's talking about the Shiluach Haken, not the earlier pasuk. So, why the Gemara brings two stories and two psukim, and the Rambam brings one, and the Rambam brings the later one? Why? Okay. So, this is. I can't tell you I understand the Rebbe's biur, but this is the sicha I picked today. About it's 8:30. I came here, but here's just a mixus of what I understand is going on over here. First of all, the Mishnah. Let's start with the Mishnah. The Mishnah says that a person says he needs 3 birds for the mitzvah. So there's a mother and 2 babies. So he wants it. They say no, you can't. The Gemara says, how do we learn that? It's a shalach to shalach. Even for taza mitzvah. So the Gemara said, well, why do you need a special pasuk? Because it's already talking about that he already picked up the mother. So there's the lav, he was over, elamai, whole thing. Okay. But why would you think even that he should be mutter in order to be metar mitzvah? The Gemara says it because it's very serious. Because the Eibish's name is even erased from the parchment to be make shalom, that the husband should be able to sleep with his wife, there should be muteris labayla, and a third is also betashma shamito. So I would think he's allowed to be over this assay in order to be metar the mitzvah. So therefore the Torah says no, you're not allowed to. So why talk you're not allowed to? There happens to be, this is a very interesting mitzvah. This is like a very funny mitzvah. On the one hand, we learned this week, last week, that the Mishnah, the Gemara Brachas, Daf Lamed Gimel, the Mishnah, and we learned it La Halacha Shulchan Aruch, Siman Kuf Yud Gimel, that a person that stands up and he starts saying his own tachanunim, and he says, Alkan, Tzipor, Yagia, Rachamecho, and he goes on, Ashtikin Oisei, you kick him out, you boot him out of being a chazan, a shliach tzibur. But the other hand, like all the meforshim say, it's not the pshat that he said something wrong. Like the Tosis Yom Tov says, Dafke betfila, it's awesome. Mashenkin derech derash, pshat. I mean, they have all the rishonim. If you look here, look in the Moreh Nevuchim, and look at the Ramban here in the Pasha, look in the Chinuch, the Maral. They all have Adarabah. The reason we say Meshat Kenoise is because naturally, when you look at this mitzvah, you see that the Eibush is having Rachmanas here. There's a certain Rachmanas that the mother shouldn't see that the babies are being killed. There is a Rachmanas, and the Ramban says that so how do you reconcile the two? So the Ramban Lamosh reconciles it this way. He says that it's not the Pshat the Eibush has Rachmanas on the mother per se. He had the Rachmanas and the mother per se, like the Rambam says that he wouldn't allow you to shech b'chlal if you had the Rachmanas and the Balei Chaim. Elamai, he wants that you should be compassionate. How could you? He says we see bepoil that people that are always working in the meat plants, that they're achzorius dika people because they're not sensitive anymore. So he says that the Torah wanted that a Yid shouldn't have a midas achzorius, he should have midas achmonas. So therefore, but to say al kan tzipor yagir achmecha, but you still, but there, you see that it's not appropriate to say it b'tfilo for whatever reason, because that's not the ultimate of the mitzvah. That's not the soif, the depth of the whole. Why you know that. This is also one of the reasons why the Eibishter said, and also this is not, whatever the pshat, the bottom line is we see from the Adarabah, from the fact that we say that Meshaskin Oisoi is that, but he's saying something, and we see that Lapoil, all the Rishonim, bring reasons that's the inyan of compassion. So now we understand why the person would think that he's allowed to take the birds in order to help the mitzvah, because we know there's a klal whenever there is a contradiction between tzar balachayim and tzar ha'odam, tzar ha'odam trumps.
Rabbi, I was thinking something. Is mitzvah is just a mitzvah say, and this is essay.
And Lloyd says that the Gemara says that the lav was already out because he already picked it up, so he already was mavatal the lav. It's only a shaila about doing the assay. Yeah, you're good. You're onto something. But the Gemara says it's a heichetim, it's a asay keneged asay.
Is he allowed to take that bird and use it for mitzvah?
So that's what the Gemara says, and you're not allowed to. The Mishnah says you're not allowed to. So, and we learn it from a pasuk. So what do we learn from here? Because l'cha'oida taka is like, why? Maybe you should be compassionate to the mitzvah. If the mitzvah needs it, you should have compassion. Because if you have a pesky mosquito in the room, you're allowed to kill it. Why? Because the tzar adam is more important than the tzar balei chaim. So here, l'cha'oida, the tzar of the mitzvah is more than elamai. There's a pasuk. And what's talking about pshat in the pasuk? The Rebbe says maybe pshat is like this. The Gemara says that we learn from the pasuk ozav taza v'ima oyev lifrig v'soina litan mitzvah b'soina. When you have to help, you have two people. Their tire busted. Yeah. One is your oyev and one is your soina. You're chayiv to help first your soina. Some Mephoshim say not stama soina. Some Mephoshim say it means a soina.
You have to help
your enemy first. You have to help your enemy first. And some Mephoshim say it means stama enemy. And other Mephoshim means that he's an enemy because al pitoida he's chayiv to be you're chayiv to hate him, because he's doing Avedis, and you rebuked him, and he slapped you.
That's tough.
So now, you want to help him, but you say, I'll help my friend first.
Sure.
No, you're chayiv to help your enemy first. Why? To break your Yetzer Hara. So it's an unbelievable thing. So the same thing
I
here.
could do that.
Huh?
And I could do that. It's a hard one.
So the same thing here. It's a hard one. It's the same thing here. He thinks that the mitzvah is more important. They say no. They say no.
But Mitzvah, not Kohen, has to help them. Why, if I pick up the bird, I'm going to help?
Yeah, because the Kohen needs 3 birds. He can help him. But
So
he
he's
has to have-
giving the
He's going to give the Kohen the birds, right? He's giving the Kohen the birds. So the bottom line is that this mitzvah of Shiluach HaKen is not a regular mitzvah. The bottom line is from this whole pilpul that the Mishnah is showing you that this mitzvah is not a regular mitzvah like mitzvah of tzedakah and kibbud of aim, with the nakuda. The mitzvah is to be kind to your father, to give a yid a sandwich in his hand, ozav taza v'imoy, lo yisashech la'achicha. This mitzvah of Shiluach HaKen is basically not a regular mitzvah ben adam l'chaveda. It's not that the Eibishter wants you should be kind to the bird. That's the bottom line. It's not stam a mitzvah. The Eibishter, when the Eibishter says be nice to your father, it means kipshuta, be nice to your father, be nice to your mother, be nice to your mother, be nice to another Jew, be nice. Help another yid when his donkey is falling. Help another yid. Give him a loan free of the interest. Yeah, I mean kipshuta. Yeah, these are ben adam l'chaveda. Shiluach HaKen is not ben adam l'chaveda. It's a special mitzvah. It's not ben adam l'chaveda. Maybe it's to teach you rachmanis, but it's not a simple mitzvah that you say it's ben adam
You have to
l'chaveda.
sign, maybe after 2 years they call you to make Shiluach again.
Yeah.
My son-in-law signed, he got
But
from
you know, here,
the U-Trip.
yeah, no, you don't have. Yeah, it's not that hard to find. Okay.
But it's a hoax. We don't understand.
Yeah.
It's hoax.
Right. So ultimately, even though there are reasons, but it's not really something which is ben adam lechaveri. Okay. Masha'enkein kibud avaim is really ben adam lechaveri. Kibud avaim. The Gemara says that if a person loses money, it's brought in this week's parsha. I'm sorry, it's a seferei. And we learn a special limud. We say dvarim kal v'choyim mishal eskav liskas ma'alav v'kos kil zocha mishal eskav liskas lach kama v'kama. The person lost a seller and only found it. You were yotze the mitzvah. You were yotze the mitzvah. A certain amount of money.
You didn't.
Yeah, you were yotze mitzvah tzedakah. So the Rebbe says that's the difference between the story of the mitzvah of Shiluach HaKen and mitzvah kibbud avayim is a very different mitzvah. Mitzvahs that the Mishnah is talking about in Chulin, which is the story of Shiluach HaKen, and the mitzvahs that are talking about in Heya, which is bein adam l'chaveda, is a very different mitzvah. When you're doing mitzvahs bein adam l'chaveda, you're helping your chaver. So the Eibishter says that peirusein should be ba'olam hazeh. You should get a peirus, a schar ba'olam hazeh. Mida keneged mida. You were kind to your father and to your mother and to another yid. And because over there the ikar is not your kavona. Your kavona is b'chlal not negeya. If you lost $1 and the oni found it, you lost a sandwich and the oni found it, you also mekayim the mitzvah. Because the ikar is that he had the toyelas.
But not talking
So
about the Shema.
Okay, doesn't matter. You still, that's what the Sifri says. So therefore, it makes sense that pay the same, that you get a reward in this world. Taka hakeren kayemes lo'olam haba. That it's like an investment. That the thing stays. But pay the same, mitaki Yitzhak mazeh, like the Alter Rebbe says in Chassidus, that the unbelievable Gilui Lakus Schar Mitzvah by Al Malek, because in Ba'al Mazah Gashmi, Ein Soif, the order of Ein Soif of Kedusha that's in the mitzvah can't reveal itself. But Epis, a little bit, it drops. a little drop, something could be revealed to the person. That's the same that he eats b'olam hazeh. Just like it's apich chassidus, also parshios. That so these mitzvahs, like hibud avayim, so this there is peideseim b'olam hazeh. There is peideseim b'olam hazeh. There is peideseim b'olam hazeh. Only by shiluach hakein we say that there is not peideseim b'olam hazeh. And this is what Rabbi Yaakov argues. Rabbi Yaakov says no. Rabbi Yaakov says it's a nishtazoi. Rabbi Yaakov says schar mitzvah b'hayil al maleka. The Rambam says paskins like the simple Mishnah in Chulin and Peah that it's not true. He says when in a mitzvah like shiluch hakein, not a mitzvah which is kibud avein, gemilas chasodim, and ashkamas beis medrash, and bika achnas asorchim or bika cholim. Those mitzvahs that Rambam says there is peideseyem beolam azev akeren kiyam azev mitzvahs like shiluch haken. Then that's only la'olam shekulei tov v'la'olam shekulei oruch. One more nekuda what happened over here? He fell and he died. Yeah. So l'chayda, how can he fall and die? The Father told him to do it.
I'm sorry. Do you get the reward for this work?
Yeah, you get.
Why wouldn't they learn that? It's used the same terminology. Why wouldn't they learn from that it also refers to shluch hakan? Because there's two words saying that you're going to have.
Why do you need the Torah that tells us twice?
Why is it saying in both sentences you're going to have extra life? And kibbud avayim, you said that
because they're very different. Kibbud avayim is a mitzvah which has been odom l'chaveira. They're very different type of mitzvahs. That's what the Torah tells you twice. Now, what happened over here? So, if you understand the way that Rambam says, which is that the Eibishter makes that a person should be able to do the mitzvahs. The Rebbe gives an example. If you have a worker, so if you want him to build, you have to give him materials. So, no. Without materials, build. You know, like the joke we say with Hershel Astarapola. His father told him go buy wine for Kiddush. So he said, "Give me money, I'll buy wine." So Akunz, you should buy wine after I give you money. So he said, "Okay, fine." He goes and he comes back, and it comes Friday night. No, Hershel, where's the wine? He says, "What do you need the wine?" He said, "To make the Kiddush." Akunz, to make Kiddush on wine. Show me he made Kiddush without wine. So the guy tells his worker to start building. He says, "Akunz." You have to give him bricks. You got to give him the stuff. So the Eibishter wants the Yid should learn Torah and Mekayim mitzvahs and give chesed. Give the kid money. Send the kid to yeshiva. He has to pay tuition. Give him geld. Help poor people. Give him geld. What do you want from this Yid? That's the whole in the Hezbollah and Rambam, that this is not the tachlis of the schar. It's not the tachlis of the schar, but it's only if you want the Yid, all these things. The keren kayemes lo'olam haba. But you got to give him. You have to give him what to do. Okay. But like this thing that you have to give him the bricks to build. That's as long as he has to live. But the Eibishter made that a person should live a certain amount of years, and then he passes away. So mehechi teisi, like the question is against Rabbi Yaakov. Just because that person died, maybe he was meant to die at that moment. The Eibishter has to give a person good life, health, wealth, he should be able to do the mitzvahs as long as he's supposed to live. But as soon as he's meant to pass away, he's meant to pass away.
So what happens with the...
It's not an extra reward. According to the Rambam, the way he sets it up is that all the toivas that the Torah gives us is only so a person should be able to do the mitzvahs.
I mean, what
did Rabbi Yaakov? What was it? So you saw the guy died. Big deal.
Right. So
that was a moment. He was meant to die.
So
what's your tinus?
One
second. If you're telling me the Eibishter has to keep on giving bricks so he can build, he's not meant to build anymore. He's meant to die now. So what's the kind? The only taina was because peideseyim, oichel peideseyim, should besides the bricks that he's supposed to get an extra schar. And this guy didn't get any schar. The guys didn't get any schar. And he did cite the mitzvah Shiluach HaKan Asay Kibbud Aveim. So therefore, from this, Rabbi Yaakov said, is the Charaya that there's no pay to say in Ba'olam Hazeh, that you don't get any pay to Ba'olam Hazeh. But the Rambam passes like the Mishnah. So the Rebbe could be the Rambam held. How do you know? Mela that he did the mitzvah Shiluach HaKan. You see what he did the mitzvah Shiluach HaKan. But how do you know that he was planning to give the gezolos to his father? Maybe he was planning to eat it on his own. Who told you that he was planning to give the gezolos to his father?
That's why you fell in the hay.
Maybe he wasn't planning to give the gezolos to his father. Here's the schar.
His father sent him.
His father, so that's what Rabbi Yaakov says. Come on, his father sent him. He's bringing it to his father. So therefore, the Rabbi Yaakov says there's two things that happen. That's why he brings both parts of the story, and that's why he brings both psukim. Mashenka the Rambam only brings the pasuk of Shiluach HaKan. Rabbi Yaakov said Rabbi Yaakov wasn't upset that a guy died. Mitzvah. If you say that the Eibush has to give a person good health in order to do mitzvahs. Okay, but when the guy say the person should never die, everyone should live as long as mitzvah shalach, because the Eibush has to give them good health. No, but at certain age they're supposed to pass away. So that wasn't the problem Rabbi Yaakov had. The fact that he died and the fact that he fell from his ladder, he has to die some way. So maybe he'll go off the ladder, on the ladder, here, there. That was a separate kasha. Why did he die off the ladder? Why does a person die this way? That wasn't the fact that Rabbi Yaakov saw a person die at a certain moment. That's nishkeraya. That means nothing. And the Eibishter has to give us all the toivas hamachzikas es yedeinu lasas hamitzvahs in b'chukoyse telechem and esati geshmeichem meitim, as long as the person has to live. But a person is meant to die. He's dying. So why, that wasn't his taina. His taina was, but there has to be an extra reward. That's not called a reward. All the toivas olam hazeh that the Torah tells us is not a reward. That's the bricks in order to be able to do the mitzvahs. The money the Eibusha gives me is in order to pay tuition, in order to give tzedakah. That's not a reward. That's the koyach, the good health that I have, that I don't have to spend my time in the doctor's office. That's in order to sit and learn. That's not the reward. So the fact that he died didn't bother him. But for it, he said, where is the peiriseyim? Where is the extra schar? Where is the schar? So the Rambam says, holds only half of Rabbi Yaakov. The fact he did Shiluach HaKan and there was no schar is a raya that mitzvahs that are similar to Shiluach HaKan, which are not meant compassion for the bird or for another person. It's a special mitzvah. It's not ben adam l'chaveira. So for those mitzvahs, the charaya that there's no peiriseyim ba'olam hazeh. The peiris and the ket and everything stays l'olam haba. But kibbud aveim. Who says he was busy doing kibbud aveim? It's not true. Taka for kibbud aveim. The halacha is like the Mishnah and Peah, that not only do you get the bricks, but you also get extra schar. Peiriseyim ba'olam hazeh. You get the bricks. Plus you get schar ba'olam hazeh.
Nobody has a shadow about Laman Yerichon Yamin, about the actual words.
So no, Laman Yerichon Yamim means the pshat. That's why the Rambam doesn't. When he brings that the Yerichos Yamim is loyalum shekula toy be'orach, he only brings the pasuk from Shiluach HaKan, because by kibbud aveim he holds that it's kipshutoy. That is after he gives toiva to his father, kipshutoy begashmis will have a long life. Gagashmis will have a long life. And last, like the Gemara says, that there's a story of this guy that he was matchin his father. He made his father, and he had a lot of schar for it because the family was starving, and by giving his father a job, they all had what to eat. And there was another guy. He gave his father fat pigeons every day, but he was like mevaz his father, and he went to Gehenim for that. But that's because then he's doing the. But the ikid is that in mitzvahs the ben adam l'chaveiroi. It's nicht negea so full the kavona. It's not negea so much the kavona. Let's say a beautiful word from the Alter Rebbe. The Gemara says then this vochem. Echad amar ve'echad amamid bevat shechav alib l'shemayim. If you give a lot, a little, as long as you have a lot of kavona. And once they say the Alter Rebbe came to a rich man, and the person gave a little bit of money for tzedakah, and the rich man said echad amar ve'echad amamid bevat she. So he said that's when you give a korban. When you give tzedakah, echad amachav and echad sheinu machav and bevat sheyarbe. I don't care. Yeah, kavana, nish kavana. Give a lot of tzedakah. That's the ikka. So that's the same thing here. That when it comes to mitzvahs, ben adam l'chaveiroi, yeah, kavana, not kavana. You see, the guy lost He's lost the seller, it fell out of his pocket. You're saying if he didn't have kavanah, obviously he didn't have kavanah. Still, he has to get a reward, a schar. The Rambam holds that's not the schar that the Torah is talking about. That's the bricks to build. You have to have good health. You have to have money in order to give tzedakah. On top of that, in the mitzvahs that are like hibud of ein and gemilas chasodim, there's peirisayim ba'olam hazeh. There's an extra schar. Why this guy passed away? Maybe he didn't have in mind to bring gezolas for his father. But Rabbi Yaakov Taka doesn't hold away. He holds only halfway like Rabbi Yaakov. He paskins really like the Stam Mishnah and Peah and the Stam Mishnah Chulin. Rabbi Yaakov Taka held that name. Rabbi Yaakov Taka held that no, this guy was not only doing the mitzvah Shaluach HaKam, but he was also doing the mitzvah of helping his father, and he didn't live one extra minute. You see that he fell from the ladder. Is the charaya, the bricks maybe you get, but the Peirisayim you don't get. So to summarize, I'm sorry, it's all over the place.
But after this story, both in the teras the Shulach kent the teras.
But Rabbi Yaakov holds,
and he saw it, and he saw the both stories at the same time, and he's still holding one part yes, one part not.
No, because Rabbi Yaakov Taka saw it, and he thought that he did both mitzvahs l'shem. He went to bring for his father, and he sent away the mother. And these are two types of mitzvahs. Ben Odom l'chavei malkam malkam is a right that in all mitzvahs there is no schar. Again, what does schar mean? There's no extra paytas. Obviously, if the Eibishter has to give you good health and wealth in order to live, but once the time comes, the time comes. But there's no extra. But the Rambam seems to pass more like the Mishnah, that only when certain mitzvahs, like Shiluch HaKain, which is not Ben Odom l'chavei, we say that you get the bricks, but once the time comes, but when it's Ben Odom l'chavei, mitzvahs like hibud of ve'em and gemilas chasodim and achnosas kala and avodas hameis, not only you get the bricks to build, but also you get parshat schar. And taka, in mitzvah, the mitzvah of hibud of ve'em would be, if you taka was doing mitzvah of ve'em, it would be impossible that he would die right away. What is this? So besides the connection that in the Lubavitch yeshivas they're starting to learn on Masachas Kedushin, and this is this week's parsha, but the ikar is that the Rebbe says that this has a sichos that always you read this parsha in the beginning of Chodesh Elul. And Chodesh Elul is merames on all the Inyan of Avodah. Anil Yodav Samtiloch, which is Torah, Tivre Torah Keltem, Anil Yodav Edeli, which is Tefillah. Elul is also Ish L'Re'eh Matanas Lavyonim, which is Gemilas Chasodim. So Zicha every Yid in the Chodesh Elul is Makayim all three things. Limud HaTorah, which is Anil Yodav Samtiloch, and this is being Marben Avodas HaTefillah, Anil Yodav Edeli, and it's being Marben Gemilas Chasodim, Ish L'Re'eh Matanas Lavyonim. Zicha, the first thing is that the Eibishter has to give the bricks, which is all the thing that are machzik our hands to do the mitzvahs and learn Torah, which is that there should be sholem, and should be sholem on Eretz Yisrael, and the Yidden should have a ribe kesef v'zohov, kipshutoi. And on top of that, it's for the mitzvahs that are kibud of ein, and gemilas chasodim, v'chulu. The Eibush has to give extra. Has to be oichel perisayim b'olam hazeh, not only a pichsidus, an extra gila lakus, but kipshutoi. The kipshutoi, arichas yonim mishonim toivets kipshutoi. So Mamela, that coming from Chodesh Elul, that all the Yidden should be nichtev, ksivach, sematoiv, and ashana tov, and psukkah, v'tev, and nireh, and nigla.
Amen.